Every champion has a coach. Courtside, changeover, head bowed, one sentence whispered, and the entire match shifts. Every great team has a coach. Huddle tight, a clear plan, hands in, momentum turns. The best leaders have coaches and mentors too, because when the stakes are high, you don't rely on willpower or luck. You get perspective, you get clarity, and you build accountability into the week on purpose. Here's the part we don't say enough, that logic doesn't stop at the edge of the court or the corner office. It trickles right into real life, into kitchens before sunrise, school lines at 3 p.m., laptops that glow after dinner. If the best don't go alone, why would we? Why would you? Hi, I'm Farah, mom, wife, former corporate leader, and woman who moved out of burnout and overwhelm to living her best life. And now I'm on a mission to help women live their best life through coaching and community. And today I'm going to show you how a coach and a circle can turn busy into better. And I'll paint what that looks like in a normal Tuesday, give you simple moves to try this week, and invite you to the kind of support the pros already count on. So stick around. Midlife isn't one job, it's 5. You're leading at work, parenting in every spare minute, coordinating care for someone you love, showing up for relationships, keeping the household lights on. Your brain has been in solve mode for so long that even small tasks feel heavy. And not because you're failing, because the load is relentless. And the more you shoulder it alone, the more invisible you can feel in your own life. Willpower was never designed to carry all of this. What you need is a system that fits your real Tuesday and people who won't let you disappear. Here's a tale of 2 Tuesdays. Meet Maya. She's 46, leads a team, 2 kids at home, coordinating care for her mom. She's capable, she's also exhausted. On a Tuesday before coaching, she wakes to the glow of emails. Between 8 and noon, 4 meetings and 2 emergencies. Lunch at the keyboard, and then at 3:15, the school text forces a reshuffle. At 4:30, a quick favor lands in her lap. And then by 8, the kitchen is clean and she's answering just one more message. She worked all day and somehow not on what mattered. Sleep doesn't come easily. The brain won't slow down. Now watch the after. 3 months later, she wakes with a short list. 3 outcomes that would make the day meaningful. 2 45-minute focus sessions on the calendar are protected like meetings. Notifications nap during these windows. And she stacks 10 minutes of movement after coffee, not for perfection, but because it changes how she meets the morning. A drive-by task appears. The time she uses a boundary line. I can do X by Friday or Y by the end of the day. What's the priority? The work lands where it belongs, or something else drops. Either way, she doesn't. Mid-afternoon, she batches messages instead of grazing. And then at 5:15, she actually closes the laptop. She posts a tiny win to her women's group, protected both focus blocks. The replies arrive. Confetti. Proud of you. Stealing this for tomorrow. Accountability isn't pressure here. It's a lift. A great coach doesn't hand you a bigger to-do list. She helps you clear the noise so you can choose what matters and release the rest. She turns someday into one next step you can take on an ordinary Tuesday. And she builds check-ins that keep promises alive when motivation dips. Add a circle of women and you don't just move, you keep moving. On days your beliefs dip, you borrow someone else's. And on days you win, you let it count. Momentum becomes shared and steady. 3 shifts you'll actually feel. First, your workload changes shape. Instead of juggling 12 priorities, you finish 3. You batch communications so your brain can focus. You audit meetings and shorten or decline the ones that don't move the needle. You're not working more, you're working truer. Second, self-care stops being a luxury and becomes a slot. 10 minutes after coffee, a 60-second reset after a hard call, a 30-minute tech-off glide path before bed. No grand gesture, just kindness repeated until your capacity returns. Third, personal growth stops living on some day. You choose one monthly theme, boundaries, confidence, creativity, and practice a tiny rep daily. On Fridays, you share a win. You teach one thing you learn to your team or your kids. Growth becomes part of how you live. None of these are fancy. All of them are powerful. The build, from busy to better. Week by week, you recognize yourself again. You say no without a 3-paragraph apology. You're present at dinner because your brain isn't still in your inbox. You plan instead of brace. The people around you notice the difference, but more importantly, you do. This is your life, not a dress rehearsal, not a someday when everyone else is finally okay. Now is the time to build a system that serves you and a circle that lifts you. So start today with tiny, doable, real steps. Before you sleep tonight, write tomorrow's 3 outcomes, the 3 that would make the day meaningful. Block 2 45-minute focus sessions and silence notifications during these windows. Add 10 minutes of movement to your coffee. Text one person on Friday, I'll tell you how it went. That's it. That's week 1. Repeat that for 4 weeks and you will feel the ground under your feet again. If you want to do this with help, a coach to keep it simple, and a community that won't let you vanish, I'd love to welcome you into ARIA, the Midlife Reset. Inside are short lessons you can watch on a lunch break, weekly missions that turn insight into action, live group calls for real-time support, and a circle of women who cheer the tiny wins that change everything. There's a link in the description if you want to take a peek inside and see if it feels right for you. Either way, choose one small promise today and tell someone who wants your best. You don't have to go it alone. I'll see you in the next video.